So then, my name is Sage Blake. I'm a wanderer, storyteller, artist mature, and I want to play something very left field today. Thus, this time around, we've got Unsighted. We're going to be starting much like we did when I first showed this game during the Steam Summerfest, if I remember correctly, last year. So in other words, playing through the initial demo, and then proceeding from story thereafter. Surprisingly, we didn't miss all too much in comparison to what was in the original demo and what's in this version of the game. So, at least for this initial section, I'm going to be doing a bit of hastening, just so we can get to what's new. Because there is a lot that's new about this game. There we go. So, for the unfamiliar, Unsighted is a search action game. What does this mean? Well, do you like Metroid? Or games similar to that? Similar to Metroid and Castlevania. Search action as a genre just means, oh hey, these are a series of games where you're meant to get lost in a somewhat open world and figure out what's around you, use it to better yourself. This can vary from items for crafting, to equipment, to entire functionality. To entire functions and function augments. For Unsighted, it specifically goes about being a hack-and-slash type of game. I hesitate to say Dark Souls-like, or Souls-like period, because honestly, I'm not as enthused about that particular name, if that makes sense. Nice try. Sure, it has a lot the same mech as a Souls-like, but I'd argue it's a lot different. Or at least, it's enough different. Also, we're an android. I figured I should mention that! Thanks, Lysol, and hope you're doing well. Yeah, the character that we're taking control of right now, her name is Alma. She's one of several androids that have been given life due to a particular item. We'll be able to see what that item is shortly. 1995. Memorize that code. It's the same every time, I believe, but you still need to toggle that in order to be able to use it, if I remember. But yeah, there's one reason why I'm specifically bringing up this game in the month of October, it being Spooky Month. These creepy looking things. In a typical playthrough, you're not supposed to be fighting these, but I know what I'm doing. So I can just kill it. I don't know the precise name of those things, but essentially they're corrupted beasts that created as a result of humans meddling with the plot MacGuffin. They're creepy, they're frustrating, and in many cases they are deadly. But the game gives you all the mechanics that you need as you need them. It doesn't explain countering at this point in the game, as I was demoing properly there. It does so a lot later. But if you were starting from scratch, that is something you could do. You get an achievement for it. There we go. About this little creature. She's effectively our Navi, for lack of a better term.
Biohorrors, the lies of genetic engineering. Seriously. What a joke.
I know, right? If anything, when it comes to the enemies in this game, it's the tinier mooks that I have trouble with, not the giant-ass hulking behemoths. My biggest problem is I get feathered to death. Yeah, Crater Tower. That is our final dungeon in the game, essentially. And it is housing a massive meteorite. We're told at several points that this meteorite creates a dust, or at least ground up parts of that meteor, are what give the androids around here life. Chip damage is still damage, unfortunately. What? I didn't know there was a jump strike. Good to know. Alright. Our Navi homologue here gives us some equipment chips that we can use. Specifically, a strength chip, which increases the power of melee weapons, and a health chip, which gives us one more unit of HP. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot, and it isn't, but it could still be handy. And if anything, I want to get a couple more chip slots. Because chips are very valuable, period. I found one or two chips that are especially handy, such as making it so that you no longer have a stamina cost for running. We'll get into why that's important. Oh. Nice try. Nice try. Ow! Crater Tower is that way, but it's a little tricky to run the gap. If anything, it's completely impossible. Or at least it should be. this gap, I know we can... I could have sworn we could jump over it. Maybe I'm mistaken. Ah, crap. Let's heal. As you defeat enemies, you do get some life juice that you can eventually inject into yourself, heal yourself back up. At points, you'll also find capsules that you can break to fully recharge, to at least mostly recharge that as well. Eat that. Let's see, can't really get up there to get that. However, we can get this. Loot check. Good ideas on wall. And I hope you're doing well. I just realized I didn't refill my water. That could be a problem. Rather peri-mandatory? Yes and no. Like, it does help a lot, and it does make things go a little faster. But if you want to, you could just load up with a super powerful weapon and start swinging. It's still recommended to at least get somewhat good at the parrying, because it does make some of the larger enemies easier to handle. Ow. What? Eh. Right, this is a small puzzle, not hard to figure out. Donking some of these blocks will let you put up and take down certain barriers. Ideally, you're meant to fill 2 of these barriers with blocks, use the 3rd one to ride up. There we go, vampire chip. That one's especially handy. 1 HP for every 3 enemies killed doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're being feathered by like 7 or 8 enemies at once, it makes for a lot. Did I get that chest? I don't remember. I think I did. Yeah, I'm missing something. Because I should have had a pistol at some point. Check the map quick. Okay, right there, I think. Bear with me. Some of the maps in this game can be a bit labyrinthine. There we go. Plug this key in. This. Donk that biouse container, you can get some filling for your syringe. Nice try. if I remember correctly, up here, way up there, is a door that you could open with 1,000 scrap, I believe the currency is, or was it bolts? I forget. 1,000 money. Depending on how you want to play some of the later parts of this game, it may be useful. I'm not explaining what it does quite yet. Get some filling phrasing. I didn't mean it like that! Oh. Oops. Yep, that door right up there in the corner. Right, you do get access to a lot of different weapons in this game, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. Swords are boring, bland, and useless as usual, but you do get a variety of different guns. Across the board, guns act twin stick style, so if you're using a controller, your right stick will let you pivot it around and aim with it. You can use left trigger to shoot. You can hold the button down too. Left bumper lets you reload. There's an action reload system, so if you reload with good timing, then you can spend less time reloading. Yeah, guns let you attack from a distance, but they don't have the greatest power. There's actually a reason for this. Specifically built into the very first weapon we get in the game, an old pistol used by human soldiers that fought on Arcadia. Unlike humans, automatons are very resistant to gun projectiles. Perfect. Right, with this gun, we're able to go in this direction. Get a bit virus. And I believe here is a mini-boss. Remember that creature that we saw in the very first area of the game? We're gonna have to fight two here. And again, you're meant to lose. But if you win, you get a bit more of a reward. That right there is the meteor. The meteor that gives the automatons the ability to continue living. A source of anima. Accelerated bit of metal doesn't do much damage, but slowly swung sword does. Not exactly slowly swung. It's implied that automatons are swinging something very heavy and or otherwise at a high velocity. Think about it this way. Something that does slashing or smashing damage does a lot more than piercing to an automaton. A reminder, they don't necessarily have organs. They just have a bunch of gearwork and that are powered by anima. Essentially, a mineral. Kinda hard to destroy a machine that's powered by pretty much only blood, as opposed to a human, which is powered by blood, organs, etc., etc. Right, these things. Again, you're meant to lose this fight. But you can win. If you're good at parrying. You have a parry button. With good timing, you can press it, block an attack. In many cases, you'll have to parry multiple times to topple an opponent. But, if you're good about your parrying, you can render them vulnerable to a critical attack, allowing you to deal a lot more damage than usual and take them out faster. Sour the timing, and you'll just block it. Similarly, you could swing your weapon at enemy attacks and deflect them that way too. By succeeding in this battle, we get a Flame Blade, a much more powerful physical weapon. And with that, we've completed the tutorial, and this is when the meat of the game starts picking up. See, since the humans have taken over the meteorite and are blatantly preventing the androids from getting to it, or automatons, this has caused a drastic shortage of meteor dust. Meteor dust is what helps these automatons continue living. Without it, they become unsighted and lose their entire personality. Essentially, they feralize. The entire game revolves around this concept. Oh, there's also crafting. You can buy a variety of different blueprints from this madam. I'm gonna buy a couple to start with. The grenade launcher for one. Probably the health chip. Sprocket and iron ingot. Crafting in this game works as follows. As you break things in the environment, you'll gain materials. If you have a blueprint, then you can open up that blueprint, be able to view it, and craft the recipe within it. However, you don't necessarily need these blueprints. If you happen to memorize the recipes or otherwise look online, you can find them that way too. So for this one, I'm gonna create a grenade launcher. This means that we need, I believe it's a sprocket, 2 scrap, and one other item that we've got still. Oops. I'm trying to remember how I select materials. That's how. So this. Oh, no, wait. just 2 of those. Let's flip back. Yep. That's right. If you make the wrong item, you will burn all of your materials, so be very careful. Here we go. Take up that flame blade. Yeah, I'll keep the blaster on that one. I think the second one will have the pineapple gun. You can switch your loadouts at any point. Grenade launcher here is meant to be used to take out larger roadblocks with explosives. Alright, back to this. From the moment you talk to Vanna here, we're on a time limit. Every single character in this game, including yourself, is on a timer. You're shown these timers. This is approximately how long each and every one of these characters can remain in existence. When that timer reaches 0, the NPC or you become unsighted, and as a result are removed from the game. To prevent any more automatons from becoming unsighted, there are elemental meteor fragments that we're going to need to collect, just so we can access the tower and have a chance at restoring the main meteor. Or rather, re-obtaining it. Each of these elemental meteor fragments are guarded by, well, a guardian machine. Each of these guardian machines are reasoned to have also become unsighted. tackle these meteor fragments in any order you choose, but there is a recommended numerical order, in terms of difficulty, rather. New piece of equipment to help us find the meteor shards. Haven't heard from her. We're also given a side objective immediately. I would recommend doing this because she's right. This piece of equipment that we can get is going to be very helpful. It's a jump upgrade. You also might have noticed on that character's portrait, there were bundle hearts. Again, even you have a time limit. 325 hours. If you're uncomfortable with the concept of time limits, you can disable them. But I want to stay with them, specifically because I feel like disabling them kind of goes against the main premise of the game. Not to mention, I kind of like the tension that this particular gimmick instills on you. It's forcing you to prioritize. It's forcing you to learn how to get better at the game faster. Specifically because if you don't, you stand to lose everything that you're trying to accomplish. Nice try. Terminal. And up here, it seems like we can get something, potentially. But it's also pretty blocked off. Ow! And yet again, showing that, yes, you can take down a good lot of the enemies just by being good at the game. Map downloaded. If I remember correctly, down this pathway is a different dungeon. Ow! Nice try. Actually, if anything, I should be putting up that vampire chip. Maybe get another chip slot, just in case. I get her rushing. Ah. Nice try. Nice try. Yeah, by the look of it, head... Oh, wait, let's switch. There are a couple shops around here in the case that you want to, like, buy recipes or equipment outright. Nice try. Down. Ah. Nice try. Let's see here. There's a ball we need to get for that switch. Trying to remember where it was. Yeah. Automatons can't really swim.